It's the same with me now. Same with these scumbags. You've got dealing scumbags that was selling when I was selling 25 years ago. They're still selling now 25 years later. Not moved. Oh yeah, the car's a little bit better, but then that just down there in the gutter, doesn't matter what car you've got, what watch you've got on the wrist, you're just totaled. So within there, the point I'm making here, similar to what I've just made, is this. For example, me, let's use me as an example instead of someone out there, right? I'm a dealer. I've dealt deep. I know how to deal. I know what comes with it. I know the violence that comes with it. I know the fatalities that come with it. I know the breakdown that comes with it. And I know the most important thing that comes with it, your loss of freedom. Now I know this. I know the pain. I know the upset. I know the destruction to me and my wider family from this shite. Now, if I purposely manipulate and target these young lads to get in this life, knowing quite well that these 5, 10, 15, 20 lads are going to go through they've been through. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no way I could do it. Can't do it. Can't encourage no kid to get into this way of life. I'll never encourage any kid to start thinking of gangsters and stuff. I'm completely deadly against it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've got in our city that have been through this mess, that have lost their mates through gun crime, that have had their ma's heart broken while they were in jail, and they're now targeting young kids, convincing them, you won't get caught, lad. Convincing them, nah, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Blagging the life off them. Put age at risk. The kids don't even know the trouble they're getting into until it's over for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they're coming in numbers, because that prick will target this one, have him for 2 or 3 years, jail. He'll have another kid. When this kid gets out of jail, he used to be put to work, he'll be a stash, a chopper, or answer the phone or something. Do you understand? And he'll use them then for 10 years or something. I'm not exaggerating when I say 10 years or something. Sometimes it's longer. You've got kids tapping into the graft world at 14 and being in it till they're 40, some of them die in it. And you've got men who know exactly what they're dragging these kids into. They've been there, they've done it, they've done the jail, they've had the addictions, they've had the breakdown of relationships, the violence, the door kicking, the police harassment. They've had it all. And they're now encouraging your young son, your young kid, your niece, your nephew, whatever, to participate in a dealing. They're getting pretty young girls whose ma and dads have raised them all in lives, college, managed to get themselves a nice driving licence, get themselves a little car. They're getting into their heads, having them, manipulating them, grooming them, you won't get caught, you'll earn good dough, sending them up and down motorways with the cars, putting 10 grand into their accounts and that. It's alright when you're not getting nicked, when they're not on top. Use girls that are letting that slot a little £5 into their bank account because you work and you think it's sweet. It is sweet at the moment because they're not on top. You know, they're alright. But you know, 2 years down the line, when it all goes up for them and they all get nicked, you're getting nicked with them for money laundering. They know that, you don't. But they do, and they don't give a you've been nicked unless you're his bird. So just stay away from it. Stay away from it. If you've got any brains on you, I got onto this subject because of the main advice I give the kid. I'll come back to it. Don't lose your identity. Don't give your identity up to no group and no fang. Simple that. Keep yourself on your little path. Get yourself a little bird. Have your little circle of friends. Get yourself employed. Bang your bird. Have kids. Get married. Get a house. Pay a mortgage. Stay free. Stay away from all the snakes and the rats that live in that world of materialism. Trust me. It's slow. Life's long over there. It's the way you want it. You want your nice, long, slow life. Trust me. You don't need this fast ending life. You know, you're starting processes every other year. What? First time in prison, bang. Why? Because you went down that path. First slash mark down your face a few years later. Why? Because you went down that path. Your mate shot dead a few years after that. You were with him. You got it. Why? Because you went down that path. The bird you fell in love with as a kid, you've gone to jail too many times now. She's found a new fella, she's got kids, your head's battered over it. Why? Because you went down that path. It's quite simple, innit? You know, open your eyes, lad, and look down that path, and look at every single that went down that path before you. What happened to them? Yeah, 2 or 3 became a film star after they'd done a 20 wreck. What happened to the rest of them, lad? Do you understand what I'm saying? Trust me on that, and then have a little look down that path when you're finished on that path, and look where all them kids went, and look where all them kids are, and look where all them lads are doing, and look what all them fathers are doing, and look what all them husbands are doing, and look what all them homeowners are doing. Are you with it? You need to be. You need to get on that flow and participate on it. Half of you are on that flow and you're not even participating in it. You're just amongst all that for nothing. You're not even participating in it, but you're still amongst it. Get the away from it. It's poison. It's dirty. Bad vibes. Bad energy. And it's only going to do you wrong as you're going along, mate. Trust me. Yous who haven't got the strength to change on your own, I'm not asked about yous, mate. You're 35, you're 40, you know you're doing wrong. You want to change and go through it the way I did. Yous youngsters, mate, listen to what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. Don't lose your identity. Don't give your identity up to that gang or that group. Don't let that culture overlap everything you can stand for and drag you into a mess. Simple. Choose a life, not a knife, as always. I know no one likes to hear all this consistently, so I'm going to back off from it. Choose the right path. That's it, Jay. Noggins Bailey, The Zone, Daz 1-1. You're talking facts. It's not even facts, is it? It's not facts, is it? It's reality. Facts that's put on paper with a definition and something you to say it's factual. I understand what you mean. You know, what I'm saying is right. It's real what I'm chatting. Facts aren't real. You know, how many facts have you learned growing up and all of a sudden it turned out to be a lie? Yes, Willow P, happy Monday, mate. That's what I mean, deep base, yeah. Street life reality. I've never been in that life reality, have I? I've never been amongst this part of life. I've always been on the streets. It's like I've left the streets and now I'm here. And I've been here for a few years now, you're on it, floating around. But eventually, I'll experience this life. I'll experience having a roof over my head with my kids running around my feet. I'll experience a holiday. I'll experience, you know, all this, not worrying about getting my phone switched off because I can't pay bills. I'm going to experience all that when it's time for me to experience all that. You know, I'm not rushing. You know, life's like a fart. If you force it, you'll something out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just learn to let it flow. Learn to identify the obstacles that's coming in your way as you're flowing. Because you'll go through your process multiple times. You know, you'll start a process here and you'll get to A. You'll leave A and something will knock you off your path. You won't get to B. Something will derail you. And then you'll start again. And you'll get to A. And then you'll leave A. And you'll identify what derailed you last time. And you'll pass A. And you'll get to B. And then you'll leave B, and guess what? Yeah, some dirty rat down there that hates your energy has derailed you again with an allegation or something wrong or whatever. It derails you again. Your head goes for a month. Your head gets better. You say to yourself, let's start again. Bang, you're on the process again. Every time you're going through the process, it's being refined. It's being smoothed. So every time you go through, embrace it. Don't get fed up. It is what it is, you know where you're getting. Now it's smooth. You see an A. You're spotting the obstacle after a mile away. You're on it before it even comes. You know how to move. You know how to deal with it. You know how to get through it without it bothering you. B, you leave B. Bang, you're identifying the obstacle that derailed you last time. That person or this thing. You move them out the way. If it's a person, sacrifice out life. If it's this, sacrifice out your life. Why? Because they've just derailed you and you've been on this process for 2.5 years now. It's not an everyday, it doesn't happen overnight. You know, you've been on this process and this derailed you because you've done something that's against your moral compass. Completely derailed you. So you sacrifice them. Why? Because you're going through the process again now and we're coming to B. And the cunt that derailed you at B is no longer there. It's been removed from your life. So now when you're leaving B, there's nothing there. You're just floating down to C. Again, you'll get to C, leave C. You probably have an incident. What won't derail you? It'll wobble you. Why is it only wobbling you now? Because you've been derailed 3 or 4 times in them 4 processes. And now you've learned in the process again how to take the impact of these problems. Instead of getting derailed off these problems now, you're taking the impact and having a wobble off them. But a wobble still slows you down. A wobble still takes you off your target. Does that make sense? Again, it's in your own interest to stop everything and start this process again. This time, the process is faster. It's well oiled. So it's been taking months to get where you are, but now you're getting from there to here, like that. So the process is speeding up now. And that's the way it is. But if you let it go too fast and start forcing it, as I said before, your life's like a fart. If it doesn't just flow, it shouldn't be coming. Do you understand what I mean? If you're sitting there and you force that fart out, you'll probably shit it. So what I mean is, embrace the process. Take every knock. Take every bit of adversity. Take it on the chin. Don't let it damage you. Don't let it confidence up or your motivation. Take it. Assess how you're up. Look at what you up and hoof you up. And remove them because you're going again. You're starting again. And this process is an internal one. It's an emotional one. And a great once you're on it. Why? Because the people that really, really care and the people that really understand you remain. And the people that aren't there for the right reasons, you identify and remove. So when you're coming near the end of your process, what's your process basically? What's your achievements? What's your end goal? Inner peace and tranquility. It's not a material. You know, you just want to reach a peaceful mind. That's the goal here. You want to be in full control of all your emotions and no one can fit this. And right through that, you gain You know, you gain a level of consciousness. You're assessing yourself. You're assessing how you've conducted yourself. You're assessing how you've up, how you've hurt people. You start dealing with yourself properly. Everyone can change. Everyone can change. You've just got to be willing to go through it. You know, the change is more difficult than the setup, if you understand what I'm saying. Adapting to change for someone that's had no change for a long time is more difficult than most things in life. You know, but it's like anything, it's the repetition. The repetition gets you better at it. And that's like in anything in life, everything in life, it's the repetition will either get you better. It doesn't matter. Look, what I mean by this, it's hard to understand. Repetition will get you better at everything in life, even if it's a bad thing. Does that make sense? So listen, let me say it again. The repetition of this thing that you're doing repeatedly all the time is going to make you the best at it, even if it's a bad thing. So if you repeatedly take on a daily basis, you are going to be the best at taking. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If every day you're punching them pads every morning for years and years and years, guess what? Eventually, you're going to be the best on the pads. If you're climbing that wall every single day, repeatedly, repetitively, guess what? You're going to be the best at climbing the wall. Do you understand? And that's the way it is with anything. Whatever you start doing on a repeated business, you're going to do it constantly all your life. So if you go to the gym repetitively every day, you'll be the best in the gym. This is the way it is. If you go on a computer every day repetitively, you'll be the best on a computer. If you start editing now and you've never edited in your life, and you start editing from now every day for the next 2 years, you'll be the best editor out there. If you've never bricklayed and you go and bricklay and you start bricklaying every day, eventually you're the best bricklayer out there, aren't you? The point I'm making is, if you're going to put something in your life that you're doing repetitive, make sure it's a good thing, not a bad thing, because whatever you're repeating on is whatever you're going to go to. Does that make sense to you? So, as I say, some of you won't understand it and some of you will. And for me to look after myself, it's pointless trying to explain it from 10 different angles. Get with it if you're not with it. Yes, Leo the Lion, Pablo, that's it mate, choose your repetition wisely. If you're waking up every morning and you're putting a joint in your mouth, first thing you're doing, and then all day you're whiffing, guess what? You're going to be the best smoker, but that's a bad thing. The side effects, the repercussions of that, it's bad, so you don't put that in your life. If you start repeating drinking, so if you go for a drink of a Friday, and then the Friday later you've repeated it, 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 that's like 7 days. But it's not repeated fast, but it's still repeated. And what you'll notice is, because you're repeating it, instead of it being a Friday, you're just having a bevy, then it'll be a Thursday. Why? Because you're repeating it, it's getting repetitive. Then it'll be Wednesday, then before you know it, you're drinking it every day and you're up alcoholic. You'll be the best drinker in the world. You'll drink anyone under the table like he's all scream about, but you're in a complete mess. You know, if you would have replaced that bevy with a McDonald's, guess what? Yeah, same thing. And again, it brings you back to your urges, doesn't it? It's your urges, isn't it? And I said to you last week, didn't I? Urges are dangerous. You know, you might get an urge for violence, you might get an urge for contact with your birds, you might get an urge for drug taking, you might get an urge for jumping off that bear ride. Do you understand what I'm saying? And just like everything, some urges are good, some urges are bad. What people don't do is practice how to control them. And this comes back to you controlling your emotions, because your emotions basically are your urges. What I said to people was about these urges is, if you're not in control of your urges, how do you expect to control a bad urge? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So why don't you practice with your good urges? Practice to control your good urges while you've got them, because you might have a bad urge that'll pop up out the blue next month, and you might just act on the spot. That urge has now got you 5 years in prison. Does that make sense? So a good urge, you're urging to get in the gym. You're dying to get in the gym, you're waiting to get in the gym, you're anticipating, you're just waiting for something to happen and you go in the gym. Control that urge. Don't go to the gym. Relax yourself. Yeah, you're anticipating the gym. Start controlling that. You're getting a little bit itty off it. Control it. The point I'm making is, it's going to be a lot easier for you to control the good urges and practice with the good urges than what it is going to be trying to master the bad urge. It's the same process. Bad urge, good urge, it's the same urge. But to control the bad urges, you need to practice with the good urges. You can't practice on the bad urges, because it's mistake after mistake with the bad urge. It's consequence. So you can't just sit and go, oh, I'm going to get into a bad urge and let go and get the consequence of it and then learn from it, because you're getting years. So with your good urges, like you want to go for a run. You know, you're all geared up to go for a run, you're dying, you're going to go for a run at 6 o'clock, switch it. Just this once. I'm not saying stop your running. I'm just saying every so often, stop yourself in your tracks and challenge that good urge. Yeah, it's good for you, it's healthy for you, it's not bad for you, but what you're doing is you're challenging your urges on a positive flow where there's no consequences at the end of it. You've just missed a gym session. You're not trying to conquer your urges in a situation where you could go to jail at the end of it. Do you understand? You're better practicing on your good urges, so when a bad urge comes along, you're well in control of it. You're in full control. So this bad urge comes along, because you've practiced not going on your good urges. Bad urges, you're not going. Why? Because you've been practicing on your good urges. Is that making sense now? That's what it is, basically. Yeah, Sel Perry, Danny Boy, it's basically what it is, mate. It's all self-control, being in control of your emotions. You know, once you're fully in control of all your emotions, you've basically reached the level of consciousness that not many people get to. And it takes years and years and years to get to it, because we up before we realise. Some of you haven't up yet. You know, but I'll tell you now, you're up, you've still got problems controlling your emotions, haven't you? You start tapping into your emotions 16, 17, 18. By the time you're 27, you're at a conscious level up there, and your life will be wonderful from there on. Instead of going through a load of mess, traumatic mess, up life, going through the process and then elevating to a consciousness. You don't need to go through a traumatic life to elevate your consciousness. Do you understand? Every one of us, regardless of what walk of life we win, we've all got a problem controlling every single emotion we've got. Some get jealous, some hate, some angry, some sad, some happy, some vengeful. Do you understand? If you can, regardless of who you are, what background you come from, what life you're in, if you can master, basically, this is the way I feel. Every emotion relates to a chakra. And once you've conquered each emotion, you're opening up a different chakra. Eventually, once you've conquered all your emotions, the consciousness of your mind elevates to the next level, and you're on a next stage in life.